Welcome back, YouTube, and we're back with another banger today. And today we're bringing you football's greatest comparisons. And today's video, we're gonna look at two of the world's greatest ever dictators that we have ever come to know. Of course, I'm speaking of the late great Joseph Stalin representing the Soviet Union, and in today's football comparison, representing football, the great Luka Modric. Let's give it up for our dictators today. And let's see who truly was the more impactful dictator for their team.
Stars.
Let's start with Luka Modric. Luka Modric. Where do I start? What a footballer. What a man. What a midfielder. When you think of Luka Modric, controversially, you think of his Ballon d'Or win. You don't exactly think of a midfielder that wowed you with numbers, the way that Kevin De Bruyne or Xavi or Bruno Fernandes or any of these high output midfielders. I have a thing for midfielders that do a bit of everything. I have a thing for midfielders that just look so masterfully, and Luka Modric is the definition of a maestro. He's the definition of a maestro. The way he dictated games without looking like he dictated games, but looking like he dictated games, was absolutely... Sorry, I'm just missing prime Luka. Sorry, guys. Like, there's no words to describe a midfielder like Luka Modric. I mean, the greatest coaches of all time can't even describe him. Carlo Ancelotti can't describe the type of player Luka Modric is. He's just so dynamic, he's just so important, and he's the key to everything. He's the one that connects the defense to the midfield. He's the one that does it on both sides equally as good. Because he's Luka damn Modric. The dribbling is up there. He's one of the best dribblers in the world. His ability in tight spaces is what separated him from the rest. It's the fact that he could beat three right around him, look up, find the space, and then Travella pass it perfectly with the perfect weight for a nice finish. I think that's what separated Luka. It's the way he off turn, boom, beats two, and then plays a pass, and like you just sitting there and you're going, wow, how can a footballer be this good? And especially, how can a footballer be this good for that long? Because Luka Modric's longevity, people, I don't think people understand like what we're witnessing. He's still going. He's like 40 plus, and he's still doing amazing things at AC Milan, which hurts me to say because I'm a Madrid supporter, as you all know, and I truly miss him in the Real Madrid midfield, because wow, what a time it was to watch him, Cruz and Casemiro dictate play, overrun midfields, and just destroy the whole of Europe for 3 years in a row, because that is within his accolades. Of course, 2018 Ballon d'Or winner, FIFA the best, UEFA Men's Player of the Year, multiple time midfielder of the year in La Liga, UEFA, FIFA inclusions, probably multiple times Croatian Player of the Year, of course. And the thing that people always forget about his 2018 campaign, like his year when he won the Ballon d'Or, is the fact that he won the Golden Ball at the Club World Cup as well. Meaning, with Cristiano Ronaldo playing, Luka Modric was the best player on the team in that tournament. I'm just saying. Same thing in the Champions League. I'm just saying, for all the niggas that say he robbed, I'm just saying so you guys know. And then he went on to carry Croatia to a final. I mean, not carry all the way, but he was undoubtedly the best and most impactful and most important player in the Croatia team that year, and deservedly won his 2018 Ballon d'Or. Something that not Xavi and Iniesta has. So that is why I chose him as one of the best dictators. And of course, because he survived one of the wars that came as a result of that came as a result of Stalin and Well, it's not Stalin because Stalin died long before, but because of that Soviet Union breaking apart and all of that, which led to, Yugoslavia, which ultimately led to Croatia's war for independence, in which Luka Modric endured some of the toughest times of his life when he was only 6 years old. And thankfully for that war, I think dodging bullets and bombs is what made him able to touch football players on the pitch and made him fall in love with the game. I mean, he's just such an amazing decision maker. The way, and I think what really separates him is the way that he dictates tempo. Luka Modric is the kind of player that knows when to run, when to stand still, like literally still, and decide he's gonna play a pass. Luka Modric, with the way he carries his body, is he gonna go on the half turn? He's gonna stop the ball. He's gonna roll it back. Wow. That has to be one of the toughest videos for me to make, because you just can't describe a player like Luka Modric. You just cannot. I'm just gonna put all of his trophies and achievements and stuff right here, and that is basically gonna conclude our point. Because what more do we need to do? Let's move on to the Soviet Union's prized possession. Not Vladimir Lenin, but Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin. One of the most well-known dictators to ever grace the earth. And what's funny is he's actually Georgian, but then again the Soviet Union was big ass, you know what. So basically Georgia was technically a part of the Soviet Union, which he would then, which Joseph Stalin would then help to form. And look, he did some horrible things and he did some great things. You feel me? Like under Stalin, a lot of the industrial revolution and shit going on in Soviet Union happened, because Stalin crucially made it very known publicly to the empire that they were about 100 years behind everyone else and they needed to catch up. And a lot of the decisions made there to catch up industrially did lead to the downfall of the people of the country. Under Stalin, of course, there was one big decision made from Lenin, which means they collectivized all the farmlands and agricultural places in the country, and they took it away from the peasants that were kind of like owners of these farmlands. They actually knew how to farm, you understand, and they just gave it to the people to just start farming randomly, and this led to a famine in which about 6 million people died. And Vladimir Lenin then had to obviously look at his mistake and then change it back and fix things again, because if you make a mistake, you fix it. Pardon. The other thing about Stalin that I want to highlight before we get into this next point is how he got to his position. He went through a lot of struggle because he was always causing havoc everywhere he went. So he got exiled many times. But there was something in him that Lenin, which was the leader of the revolution, of course, the Bolshevik Revolution, Red October. There was something that Lenin saw in Stalin that he really liked. I think it was the relentlessness of Stalin. He just kept on pushing, kept on going. Yes, he was a terrible father and a terrible husband, famously saying that one death is a tragedy, but 1 million deaths is just statistics. That is the kind of dictator on the football pitch that we are speaking about. Absolutely relentless. Stalin here. He also said that at his first wife's death, at the funeral, he said that this creature made his heart soft, and with her death now, he will never feel anything for human beings again. That's some messed up shit to say at a funeral, not gonna lie. Actually, it's kind of funny. I might use it, but anyway, let's continue. So Stalin rise through the ranks very quickly within the Bolshevik party, and the reason for that was he was basically Vladimir Lenin's favorite. He liked everything about Stalin. He saw all the potential, And Lenin crucially gave him a very big leadership role within the party. He made him general secretary or secretary general, whatever you want to call that. And it wasn't really a big position of power, but Stalin influenced it and made such decisions in a way that it became a crucial role within the party, and he held this role forever till his death, because he gave it influence that it didn't have before, and he basically made this the leadership role of the party. But at a certain point, Lenin did realize that Stalin was a bit wild. He was a bit messed up. He was too rude. He was just too much of a dictator for a dictator like Lenin to understand. You see, Vladimir Lenin had some heart in him. Joseph Stalin didn't give a flying kite. You understand? So, crucially, he said that the people within the party should chop down Stalin. But they obviously failed to do so, and Lenin then got a bunch of strokes, and making him unworthy and unhealthy to take the reins, and then he died, and then Stalin took out all his opposition and he became the leader and the favorited communist leader, dictator of the Soviet Union. So he did his place. He really scanned the field pretty well, because that's what a dictator of tempo. He knows when to rush, he knows when to hold the ball, he knows when to do the half turn, he knows when to open up space for himself or open up space for his teammates. That's the kind of dictator we're dealing with here in a Joseph Stalin, of course. But crucially, he made a similar mistake to Vladimir Lenin. With his 5-year plans, he came back and he said, you know what, we're taking back all the farms again from these people, and should you see them, it's on site. So these farm owners, they said, it's on site, you kill them when you see them. What a policy. And obviously he had the labor camps, forced labor camps called the gulags. This is Joseph Stalin, people. But when he did that crucial decision of taking back the farms and making it state-owned, it caused another famine. But this famine was a lot worse. This famine took about 10 million people, Soviet people, which was absolutely horrible. And in Stalin's purge of all the people around him in positions of power, he took out or arrested and exiled about 1,108 members of the party. Because that's what dictators do, you feel me? But to be fair, Stalin did end up popping Hitler, or causing Hitler to pop himself, which is quite a funny story, because Stalin was basically depressed leading up to that war, because he basically felt like he had given up everything that they had worked so hard for, and that Hitler was gonna come and destroy them. So he sat on his chair somewhere in Moscow for like months and didn't move. Like, he just sat there until they came and begged him to lead them to victory, which he ultimately did face. Fair play to him. It wasn't really him, it was the winter, but ball knowledge, Stalin. So Stalin is one of those, like, he's constantly ranked within the top 3, top 5 dictators within human history, and I mean, what can you argue with him? He has an impeccable history, they got nukes and everything. I mean, industrially, he did what he did, and he made the this is the very one. He made the Soviet Union a recognized superpower within the world, on the global stage, with America even introducing Stalin as our friendly Uncle Joe. So he really defied the odds, and it reminds me of the 21-22 Madrid Champions League win run. Constant comebacks. But who was a player in that Madrid team? Luka Modric, and that will be our winner of this debate, because Stalin, unfortunately, while he had a great stature, oftentimes people recognize that most of his glamour and his image was a lie, and that he was absolutely murderous in ways that Luka Modric never was. Luka Modric was an elegant footballer, is an elegant footballer, and will remain one of the greatest midfielders of all time, and definitely a better dictator on the football pitch than Joseph Stalin ever was.